Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to check out The Outer Worlds. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Like I said, we're checking out The Outer Worlds. This came out, I think like 2019, so it's been like almost 2 years. And just kind of like a little backstory, I should say, on this game. I got this one a while ago, and I don't know if I got stuck or if there's other games, whatever it is you want to say, and I just kind of abandoned it, forgot about it. It was literally one of like only the few games that I've ever gotten that I just haven't finished, because I'm kind of OCD. I like to actually finish the games, even if I don't like them. You know, I paid money for them, I like to at least finish them. And then I saw the E3 trailer for Outer Worlds 2, and I was like, dang, this looks really cool. Oh yeah, I should probably finish Outer Worlds 1. So here we are. I finally finished it. It took me forever. And when I jumped back in the game, I literally had no idea what was going on. So I restarted the whole thing, and I was playing it on my PlayStation 5. So the graphics were a little bit better than, the base, consoles that they came out on. But anyways, guys, we're going to go over some of the pros and cons that I personally thought about the game. We'll start with some of the good stuff, and then we'll go into some of the things that I didn't quite like. First off, this is made by Obsidian, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that these guys also did Fallout 70, or not Fallout 74, that was garbage, Fallout New Vegas, and a few other games, but I have never played this particular one. I played a lot of the Fallout ones, and I'm a big fan of the Fallout ones. And one of the first things that you'll notice right as you play this is that it definitely has a very Fallout, New Vegas, I think. Maybe these are the same guys that made New Vegas. It reminds me of a ton of New Vegas in a lot of parts. And one of the things that I liked about this game is that you can literally do pretty much anything. Like if you decided that you wanted to just off one of the NPCs, you can totally do that. It doesn't matter if they're a main character or not. It seems like that the story still like progresses itself even if you kind of off some certain characters. Yeah, I might close off some side quests. I didn't experiment with it too much. There was a few times where I did, purposely shoot some of the main, NPCs or whatever, and I was like, you know what? I don't really like that decision, and so I went back to a previous load save. But yeah, you can literally do and kill off whatever you want to do, pretty much anybody in the entire game. So it's kind of cool that they give you that freedom, because I know a lot of other games, they just, like, if there's certain people that have to be in a, a quest or whatever, they don't let you harm them or whatever. Another thing that I really enjoyed is that this game, as a whole, was only about 25-ish hours. I think I beat it in 28 hours. I'd have to look on that for sure. But I think the 20 to 30 range, 35, is like the perfect spectrum for a game. I feel like, that we have lots of those games, especially RPGs like Skyrim and, Fallout and a lot of those other ones. They're just so long. Like even like Valhalla, Assassin's Creed, they take forever to finish, and especially like the average person, they got jobs and whatnot, and so playing these games takes forever to finally beat. And I feel like the 20 to 35 range is long enough that you're still playing it for a while, but it's not something short like that you can bust out in a day. So I do like the length of the game. I think it's perfect lengthwise. Next thing that I really enjoyed was that the planets and some of the areas were super cool. Especially, I forget, you go to like this one planet, and it's like an asteroid type planet. I don't even know if it's a planet. Maybe it's an asteroid. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. But like the sky, like what you look up in the sky is so freaking cool, so beautiful. All the space, all the planets, like you could see like planets with rings around it while you're on like another planet. So I guess the skybox is what you would call it. It was really cool in a lot of different areas. There were some areas that were just kind of generic, kind of bland. Some of the cities and towns that you visit, but a lot of the new planets, whenever you first arrive, had that kind of wow factor. So I really appreciate that. It was super cool. Another thing, I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. The story was, I would say the story overall was okay. There were some parts that I thought were really good, had really good moments. The story was flowing, and then there were other parts that was just kind of like, like fetch quest, go here to do this. Oh, and then bring this back to me. I don't know. It just seemed like the story was kind of, I either was really into it or I really didn't care about the story, and I was like, oh, let me just do all the side quests because I really don't care about what's going on. So, I mean, overall the story was okay. I guess like a very summarized gist of the story is your character that you play as gets awoken out of hibernation. You're on a ship that's called the Hope, along with a bunch of other colonists that are also in cryosleep. And basically, in this galaxy called Halcyon, there's a big food crisis, and then there's the board that's trying to hide it, and these corporations that are trying to push it under and trying to get rid of the Hope. And just doing some real evil, like corporate stuff, and basically you're like, no, we need to free them, and actually it kind of branches, so the story it depends on which branch you go through, but that's kind of the gist of the story. You're, one of the colonists frozen for 70 years on this ship. So yeah, overall story I thought was good. It was okay, which kind of leads into the next part, which I do like about the story is that there are quite a few branching paths. I haven't experimented with it. There's lots of other YouTube videos, you guys could see about this specifically. But from what I've noticed, there was two major paths that you can choose. You can either choose to side with Phineas, who's the scientist that awakes you from cryosleep, which I would say is ultimately the good path. And then there's the path of the corporate kind of side, where you side with the board and you defeat, get rid of Phineas, Wells, and you side with them. So those were the two branching paths. Now, when you choose one or the other, you do get locked out of a lot of other quests. I want to say that there was 13 or 14 main quests, and once you kind of choose a side, I think there's one quest where I'm drawing the blank on the name, where depending on what you choose to do in it is where the branch officially starts. You either do this thing and you're with Phineas, or you do this thing and you're with the board. So I really like the branching paths idea. Adds a lot of replay value to it. And I know that there's multiple endings, not just the good and bad ending. I think that I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's 5 or 6 different endings depending on the choices that you made. So that was the big chunk of things that I thought were really good with this game. Now going over some of the things that I didn't quite like. So the first thing, I'm just going to say the first one, and then the rest of them I feel are kind of nitpicky things that are not quite as bad, but for me personally I found them annoying. But the number one thing is load times. Oh my gosh. So I originally started this game on the PS4. Like I said, I got this a while ago. Didn't finish it, and then I saw the trailer, restarted it, and I was playing on the PlayStation 5, and then that's when I decided, since I didn't know what was going on, I just started a brand new game. So everything was on the PS5, and even on the PS5 the load times were so bad, and I experimented with it just to be sure, because I do have an Xbox, and I tried to play a few levels. I'm only level 2, but just to see what the load times were on the Xbox, and the load times were still crazy long even on the Xbox. I didn't time them to see which one was better, but not only the load times, but when you're in an area and you get to new towns or different spots, and you unlock fast travel and you can go between vast amounts of area, it seems like it's fast, but it almost seems like it'd be faster just if I walked all the way across the map, because a lot of times what would happen is, okay, I want to go to, let's just say, Edgewater, and I'm all the way at the edge of the end of the map, edge of the map, and I'm like, oh, let me fast travel. So boom, load screen there just with the fast travel. But a lot of these cities will actually fast travel you right outside the main door of whatever city you're trying to get to. So it's fast travel to the city. Oh, you're right outside the door. Click to open the door. Another load screen. So it was multiple load screens in a row, and they were all crazy long, and it just really pulled me out of continuing it, which is exactly why I quit in the first place. Now that I'm thinking about it, is that it just seemed like I was dragging my feet playing it because there's so many load times that, and then when something else came back, I was like, okay, let me go play this really quick, and then I'll come back to Outer Worlds. But then I kind of forgot about Outer Worlds, and I just kept playing other stuff. So, I mean, I got a few other things on my list, but ultimately that was the biggest thing that really pulled me out of the game, that kind of unimmersed me from the world and the story that it was trying to tell, was just the excessive load times and the crazy long load times. Next thing on the list was the enemies. I just played on the standard difficulty, and I did find it kind of easy at some parts. I did notice that either a lot of the enemies were super easy and only took like a few hits to take down, or they were like freaking bullet sponges where I was unloading like tons of clips just trying to take these dudes down. So there was no like happy medium. It was either they're super easy or they're incredibly bullet spongy and waste all my ammo. So next thing on the list that I thought was kind of annoying is that there was like a lot of fall damage. It seemed like sometimes I would jump off of something and I'd be okay, and then another time I'd jump off something that seemed to be about the same height, and then I'd get fall damage. So almost everything that I jumped off of, fall damage, fall damage, fall damage. So I just thought that was a little annoying. Another thing, and this is more of like a personal opinion, is that it's cool to have like the 3D, you know, customization and whatnot, but I just really hate that you never get to see your character. Well, actually, these two points that I don't like kind of go together. It's a third person customization, and then just the whole thing is in third person, which is fine for like when you're going out doing the story. It just, I don't know, I just find it kind of annoying and pointless to have a character customization and then never see your character besides whenever you hit pause. It's the same thing with Cyberpunk. I had the same issue with Cyberpunk, where you have a super cool, you know, customization and you can do lots of different things, and then I don't even know if you could see your character in the mirror in Outer Worlds because I didn't even see any mirrors. So, but it's the same concept as Cyberpunk, where you make your character and then never see it besides when you hit the pause button. Get all these cool armors and then never see it. And then kind of tying in with that, it just kind of seemed like when it's all in third person, even the cutscenes and whatnot, which there weren't very many cutscenes, but whenever there were, it was all in through the eyes of the character, which really kind of I just didn't really care too much for the character. You didn't really get to see what was happening. You don't get to feel for your character. You're just the Outer Worlds guy, you know, like, I don't know. I just wish there's a few games where they kind of combine the two. Halo, for instance, Doom, where you're in, you know, first person, or actually I've been saying third person, huh? Sorry, I meant to say first person, not third person. Where you're playing in first person, you know, shooting, you know, the bad guys, doing all the quests, but then when there's cutscenes, it actually shows what your character looks like, you know, the armor you got. So that's kind of like what I like. I just really find it lame and pointless when they come up with these, you know, character creations and then just never get to see them besides whenever I decide to hit pause to go to the freaking bathroom or get a snack. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The last, or I shouldn't say last thing, I got two more things. The other thing that I didn't quite like, it just seemed, I shouldn't say not quite like, there was lots of side quests, but it just seems like there was really short side quests, especially like you get up to, I think, five different companions that you can get, and they each have one story quest. And it was just kind of, it just seemed like whenever I was in an area, I talked to everyone I could to try to get as many side quests as I could, and it just seemed like I burned through them fairly quickly. It's not like if you're going in thinking it's going to be like Skyrim or even Fallout, you know, where you could just spend endless hours just doing side quests before you hop into the story. It's not like that. There's only a set number. Once you do that, it's done, and then you kind of have to move on to the next main quest. And then the last thing that I didn't quite like was just the dialogue. I guess not necessarily the dialogue, but the dialogue interactions. Like I said, it's all through first person perspective, so you're just looking at them and you're just kind of watching them talk as you choose the dialogue. And there was lots of dialogue options, so times like that I do wish that there was more of like a third person outer perspective, watching, you know, interacting with whatever NPC you're talking to. It's just kind of, I don't know, kind of stale, I thought. just sitting there reading it, and yeah, those are all the things that I really liked and didn't quite like. Kind of a mixture of different things. Overall, I did enjoy the game, and it actually got me excited. The ending was pretty good. Leaves you kind of on a cliffhanger. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know in the comments below, but I kind of thought the way that they were saying is that my character dies. I'm not sure if that's the thing, if we start a new character in the next game. I don't know. Now, if I'm giving this a rating out of 10, I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10. I know a lot of people may disagree with me. I saw a lot of things, even before playing this game, that got a lot of praise. And this game was good. And I did really enjoy it. I just felt like there was a lot of flaws, and I couldn't just gloss over them because they were pretty big, especially those low times and enemies and whatnot. But overall, guys, really enjoyed the game. Like I said, 7.5. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. If you guys made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate everyone that watches my videos and takes the time out of your day to watch them. You guys are freaking awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.